Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Israel Brief, brought to you by Lay of the Land. I'm Amanpour Marks, your host, bringing you the top stories from Israel and the region every Monday to Thursday right here on this very address, but also on YouTube. So if you prefer your news on YouTube, not a problem. We have you covered. Just look for the Israel Brief, and all you have to do is click on the big red subscribe button and you'll be notified every time we post a brief. But without further ado, let's dive into those top stories. And the big news story of the day is whether or not President Trump was planning to preempt an attack on Iran by attacking their nuclear sites. This all within the last week of his presidency. However, his top advisors have warned him against it, saying that this could lead to a wider spread war. And Iran have responded by saying that there will be far-reaching consequences should America attack. And on the subject of America, we are expecting the U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo in Israel in the next few days, where he will go where no high-level official has gone before. He will go into the West Bank, or Judea and Samaria, whatever you call it, to a winery called Psagot, where he will visit there. He will be the first and highest ranking American official to do so. And in other news, we now look towards the region as a whole, and we can expect, apart from Mike Pompeo on our shores, we can also expect the Bahraini foreign minister and a high-level delegation who will visit Israel tomorrow. This is to discuss some of the cooperation and some of the clauses within the recently signed Abraham Accords. So a lot of cooperation happening, and if this wasn't enough, Emirati airline Etihad announced yesterday that there will be at least one flight a day from Abu Dhabi to Tel Aviv starting from March. But what was very interesting to note was their social media campaign, which has now since been withdrawn. But they had a lovely flight attendant giving some tips and tools on how to navigate Tel Aviv. And while she did pronounce Sabich correctly, what many people noticed was an allusion to visit the Second Temple. Well, this flared some tempers in the Middle East, and Etihad unfortunately had to remove that post. But it's nice to see that they are curious. They want to come and explore Tel Aviv and surround, and we for one can't wait to welcome our new Emirati friends. And our last story of the day goes back to one that we discussed yesterday. We spoke about the fact that CNN chief international correspondent Amanpour had made a comparison between Kristallnacht and the Trump administration. As you can imagine, there has been a lot of outcry amongst global Jewry, including the Minister of Diaspora Affairs and Foreign Affairs here in Israel, as well as organizations like the AJC. Well, Amanpour has issued an apology. She said that it was wrong of her to juxtapose President Trump and the Trump administration with the events of Kristallnacht. She says that she observes Kristallnacht every year, and that the Holocaust, that Hitler and events like Kristallnacht really stand alone in history. But it has brought to the fore a disturbing trend that we do see a lot of on social media, and that is the propensity to use comparisons to the Holocaust so easily, or to Nazis, without considering the repercussions and also the severity of the crimes against humanity created and caused by the Nazi regime. Those are our top stories for the day, but don't forget that you can check out our original content by visiting our website and all our social media. And if you're looking for where to find us, no worries, I'm going to tell you right now. You can find our website at www.layoftheland.online. We're on Facebook at Lottle's site. And if you haven't already done so, please give us a like or a follow and share our content. You can find us on Twitter as well. We're at Lay of the Land with the digit 5. We're shooting our mouths off all the time. So if you want to interact with us, you can find us there. And there's that YouTube channel I told you about earlier. So with the Tuesday edition of the Israel Brief, I'm Amanpour Marks, and we'll chat again tomorrow.